are 120,000 square kilometers.
Yeah.
So you can.
You know what? Switzerland is 40,000.
So we are really.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one is so small.
Okay, so I will be more specific and say that El Salvador is the smallest country in the American country.
In the American country.
Okay.
In North America, maybe.
Yes. We mainly speak Spanish. 95 of the population are Aboriginal descendant. So we are kind of like my color, right? You can cross El Salvador in 8 hours by car, right?
Okay.
In this very little space, we have the ocean, we have 11 volcanoes,
Wow.
and we have like 20 lakes,
Wow.
24 if I'm not mistaken. You have mountain, you have different kind of weather, so it's a very small place with a lot of different things to see. Our population is so far inland 6 million Salvadorians, and it is estimated that there are like 4 million of Salvadorians outside of the country, right? But as I said before, this is not like a scholar speech or workshop. Today I'm going to try to make it as fun as possible. We are going to cook food that is called, I'm going to write it here. It's called pupusa. And it's in Nahuatl, which is an Aztec. We are descendants from the Aztecs. We can be kind of Mexicans. But Nahuatl is the language our Aboriginals speak in El Salvador. Pupusa means holy meal. So I need to ask you because I didn't have much time to prepare different kind of feeling for the pupusas. If you are okay with pork.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we are going to make a pupusa filled up with pork and cheese.
Ooh, yum.
And my friend, she is also from El Salvador, she did the preps for us, and she made the salad, and she made the tomato sauce that we eat it with, right? So I'm going to, I already started to prepare the flour, and everybody is going to make their own pupusa, and we're going to do it together. Yes, we're going to do it together.
Just out of curiosity, is this stuff mild or is it industrial strength spicy?
No, it's not spicy.
Okay.
We have it spicy, but I know that people don't eat spicy, so we didn't make it spicy. You can have it spicy, like we eat a lot of the Mexican way in El Salvador. Our culture is very, very traditional in the way of most of the populations is a very Christian Catholic society. But at the same time, El Salvador has developed a lot of infrastructure in the last 20 years. We have more than 20 universities between private and public. University in El Salvador, still public. You don't pay for it.
That's
Right.
good.
So the university is owned by the state still.
So the education is pretty accessible?
It is accessible. It could be more accessible, and there are a lot of things that needs to be done. But for you to get a spot at the public university, you have to get very high marks.
Okay, but you don't have to pay.
You don't have to pay, or you have to pay, but it's like $5 every 6 months.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, right? So with what is going on in Canada and the Quebec movement, and when I see having universities so expensive that our kids don't have necessarily the possibility to attend, like I am like, hello.
Work different.
I could work different. Like the people who can afford it, they should pay, and the people who can't, you know, so everybody has the right to study. What else can I tell you about El Salvador? Well, yes.
Do they have a pretty good system for women's rights, or is that a work in progress?
It is a work in progress, and let me tell you, I am very proud of the women's movement in El Salvador because, as you know, back in the 80s we had a civil war, but what really was happening was a really, really progressive movement that had to take weapons to defend themselves. So I belong to a generation in El Salvador that we thought that our society needed to change.
Okay.
And one of the most benefited amongst all the groups that we were fighting is women's groups. Nowadays, single moms who are receiving child support, they have their own association.
Oh, good.
And they have won that the assembly, by law, made men to pay 30% of their income. And if a public person or what is it called when someone is elected? Like
Politician.
a politician hasn't paid their child support, they cannot work for the government. Like they have to be free. Like it's like credit. It's like a credit check, right?
Yeah.
So women have been on the street. Women have been fighting for it. As usually, we need to fight for what we have, and that is really empowering. And let me tell you something about just to give you an idea how the women's movement in El Salvador is. This is something that. The way I need to say it, I need to be very careful. The sex trade workers everywhere in the world is the most marginalized
And most vulnerable.
and most vulnerable. Sex trade workers are organized in El Salvador.
Fantastic. Which
So-
is not happening here, right?
Yes.
They don't have
So
a union.
one of the things that I have noticed, like I've been here and there, is that in my country being poor is not a shame. We are very proud of have been born poor and make our way out of poverty. So sex trade workers, they have their representative.
Excellent.
And then they show on television and they say, you know what? We have this program, we are running this program, and they march on May Day. So there are different things like everywhere in the world, like women, we have different ways of empower ourselves. And what I'm going to talk mostly about today is about the women's movement in a very specific country, side town. The name of the city is Cuisnahuac. Cuisnahuac in Nahuatl means, the name is Cuisnahuac. Which in Nahuatl means mountains of water.
What is that?
Cuisnahuac means mountains of waters in Nahuatl.
Is that Aboriginal?
It is a Nahuatl word. Nahuatl is the Aztec language we mostly speak in El Salvador.
Just grab a chair. We're just about to get started.
Yes, just
En español es manzanas de agua, ¿sí?
yeah, in Spanish, yeah, that would be montañas de agua. But our language in El Salvador, it's bringing a lot of the words we say, as everywhere in Latin America, they are Aboriginal. So the city is called Cuisnahuac. Yes. And the good news about them is that past elections, the municipality was won by a woman.
Oh, great.
Very good.
And it's been the women's movement locally that have made it possible because those women are so amazing. I'm going to open their Facebook page because I keep in contact with them. And the mayor, she is an Aboriginal woman.
Very good.
So that means that the Aboriginal community is empowered.
So she's really,
Yes. Her name is Rosa Isabas. And
so she's the mayor.
she is the mayor.
Very
So
good.
it's like the God, what's the name of it? Like the cities, they have their
Yeah,
own
yeah.
symbol.
That's the
right?
seal.
Yeah. And this is the church. And this is their Facebook page. So I want to talk, oh well, I said that we were going to cook before, but now I already introduced to the topic. I am very excited to show you this because I am part of a movement outside of El Salvador that we are supporting this town. This town is one of the most poor places in El Salvador, but because they are a very progressive force, they are aiming to bring resources, and by the communities organized, they have made a lot of good changes for the place. Women, they have their own food co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah, they grow.
So they own their own business.
They
basically, right?
they own their own business. They have a farm of organic chicken and egg. They have brought environmental solutions, like for example, instead of using gas or wood to cook, they got some solidarity from a European organization, so they built stoves that they work with gas, with metano.
Yeah.
Methane gas,
Yes.
or butane.
So there is an effort in the community to do it. So the environmental solutions have been taking place after almost 10 years of work. And why am I saying this, and why is this important for our women's group in Calgary? It's because poverty can be overcome by organizing.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
like people go together and
Exactly. So we are trying to build a sisterhood between women in Calgary to the women's in Quisnawat, and we are planning to have meetings with other people because our mayor, she started a women's health clinic.
That's good.
Because some of the women had died in their way to the hospital to deliver babies. Because there are no, like previously, there were no intentions for the politicians to bring welfare to women's health, women possibilities. But it's their own fight that have brought this. So we are very proud to present that to you. Right? And I am showing you,